All right, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, we'll call this recess meeting of Tuesday, November the 19th to order. If you will, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation by Chaplain Bonner of the New Prairie Grove Church, and then we'll have a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor Bonner.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come now in the precious name of Jesus. Thank you for this day, and we thank you for this gathering. Father, we pray now that you would bless the mayor, the board of aldermen, and Father, and bless the citizen of the city of Starkville. Oh, Father, bless in a special way that this meeting will be a meeting of progress and be a meeting, Father, that the citizens go home and that they're going to see some results. Father, we just thank you right now. We pray, Father, you continue to bless the city of Starkville, continue to bless the mayor and the board of aldermen. We thank you now. It is in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here this evening. We will now approve the official agenda with consented items. If there is anyone, I'm going to be making an amendment to the executive session. We need to add pending litigation, if we could, please. If there are no objections to that, Mr. Latimer needs to brief us. So if we could add pending litigation to the executive session. And Alderman Vaughn, I saw your hand.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, on the human resource number 4, will you move that to consent, please?
Yes, sir. Any objections to moving item number 4 to consent, which is the advertising for a driver? Any objections? Seeing none, that one will go on consent. Alderman Vaughn, anything else?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Any other board members? Any other board members? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the official agenda with the consented items as amended.
Move approval.
I have a motion from Alderman Little. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Vaughn. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, with that, I will read the consented items. First is consideration of the minutes of the October 15th, 2019 meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Starkville. Consideration of the minutes of the November 1, 2019 work session of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Starkville. Consideration of the minutes of the November 12th, 2019 public hearing on the Roundhouse Sewer Project. Under Board Business, we have consideration of acknowledging the receipt of the Ad Hoc Recycling Committee's recommendations. Under Department Business A, Airport, request approval of the High Wing Aviation LLC Aviation Flight Training Agreement at George M. Bryan Field, Starkville, Mississippi for 1 year. 2 is request authorization for Airport Director Rodney Lincoln to travel to MDOT 401 Northwest Street, Jackson, Mississippi 39209 to attend a Mississippi Airport Association Board of Directors meeting on November 20th, 2019. Under Code Enforcement, we have consideration of calling for a public hearing on December 17th, 2019 under Mississippi Code Annotated 21-1911 to determine whether the buildings located at 100 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive with parcel number 118P-00-149.00 is a menace to the public health, safety, and welfare of the community. Under Planning, we have item C, which is consider authorization of execution of a subscription service agreement with MyGov LLC and Oklahoma Corporation. Under Finance Administration, we have number 2, which is acceptance of the October 2019 financial statements. F, Fire Department, number 1, request permission for Chief Charles Yarborough to attend the 2020 Midwinter Mississippi Fire Chiefs Conference in Ridgeland, Mississippi on January 21st through 23rd, 2020 at an approximate cost of $750. Under Human Resources, we have number 1, which is request authorization to hire Rakita Robinson as a custodian in the Starkville Park and Recreation Department. Number 2 is request authorization to hire Carlos Neely as a field maintenance worker in the Starkville Parks and Recreation Department. Number 3 is request approval of the Mississippi Partnership Gateway Youth Program Work Experience Worksite Agreement through East Mississippi Community College, EMCC, and authorization to participate in this program. And number 4 is request authorization to advertise for a driver in the Sanitation Environmental Services Department. Under Parks, number 1 is consideration of approval to advertise an RFP request for proposals for a bicycle and pedestrian master plan for the City of Starkville as required in the 10-minute walk grant. Under the Police Department, we have number 1, consideration for Captain Mark Ballard to attend the Mississippi Association of Chiefs of Police 2020 new Chief of Police orientation from January the 13th to the 17th in Ridgeland, Mississippi. Number 2 is consideration of approval of the intergovernmental sale and transfer of a 2012 Dodge Charger and a 2014 Dodge Charger to be used as police vehicles in the total amount of $14,000 from the Town of Ackerman Police Department pursuant to Mississippi Code annotated 317-13 sub M sub 6. Under Utilities Department, number 1 is consideration of granting a permanent easement and right-of-way to Tennessee Valley Authority for the 161 kV transmission line. And 2 is request authorization pursuant to Mississippi Code annotated section 21-17-1 and 43-37-3 to purchase a 10-acre parcel of land located south of the wastewater treatment plant at the end of Sand Road in the amount of $40,000, $20,000 land, and $20,000 timber from Desi R. Hines. And that concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mayor.
My pleasure, thank you. All right, and then we go to mayor's and Board of Aldermen announcement. And for mine, this is something I think everyone knows, but we need to highlight it. This is going to be Chief Nichols' last board meeting with us. He is retiring the 31st of December, but he is taking a whole lot of leave. And so as of December 1, this is going to be the last board meeting he attends, because I think he's going to hand the reins over, at least for that month, to Captain Ballard. So I want us to say congratulations and thank you for everything, and know how much we have appreciated you being the chief and being with us at board meetings and doing all the things that you have done to make our community the best that she can be. So I want to thank you personally. I know the board does as well, but we will have a change of command ceremony on some planned date soon, right? Something like that. A party before the party. December the 31st or something along those. Thank you, Chief. And other than that, I have no announcement.
Might be recognized, Mayor. Mayor, I got 2 things. And first of all, I want to say thank and commend to all of you, this board, for the grant that we got on Martin Luther King and 182 corridor. I thank y'all so much. It's been a long time coming. I know that's been all our desires when are we gonna revitalize 182. But I just thank y'all so much, and just can't only thank y'all. You have to thank the previous board, 2009. It was constantly we were going over the same thing. I want to thank the 2009 board and all of us that had Buddy Sanders and all of us that had hands in this corridor. And I thank y'all so much. Thank you, because it's been a long time coming, and a lot of people in the community are very excited about it. They're ready to see a change, and I feel like it's going to be a great change. Chief, to you, stand up. For some reason or another, I came here tonight to commend you, because I had a feeling that you weren't going to be here no more. And I said I was going to do it tonight. I want to thank you so much for what all you've done for the community, not just your community. I'm talking about the city of Starkville. I want to thank you so much, commend you, and thank you for your bravery, for your leadership, and just the training of your police force to do the right thing. We can find a lot of ways to do wrong, but it ain't but one way to do right. And I think you had instilled in there to them, and I think the transition that you're making with Captain Ballard, I think the transition will be smooth, and I think we will continue to go on in progress in the city of Starkville. Again, thank you so much for being our chief.
Thank you. I'm going to do it too while I got you.
Alderman Carver.
Yeah, man, I've really enjoyed our friendship, and people may not know, but a lot of times when things happen, and this could be a violent crime or something of that nature, you know, we're going to get a call to you or get a call from you or to you immediately, and a lot of times I know that's a lot going on in the first 10 or 15 minutes, but you've always been calm, cool, and collective under pressure. Something that, you know, there was issues when over the years that you've just kind of been a stabilizing force for morale issues and then for other issues, and it's something I've just always looked up to you personally. I know we all have here. I know it's a tough job. I know law enforcement's a tough job. We probably don't understand how tough it is and what you have to go through on a day-to-day basis, but as far as being a face for the community, you've always done a great job, and I wish you the best of luck. We'll come and visit you one day and visit you. I look like you're already growing your beard out and getting ready.
This is for No Shade November.
Okay. But anyway, I've always appreciated our friendship. You've always kind of been a lead force. And that's just not your time as a chief. That goes back for years and years before that. So I definitely appreciate you on a personal level, on a professional level, and thank you for everything you've done for us.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, seeing none others, I'm gonna circle back with you, Alderman Vaughn, if you don't mind, since we brought it up. I want to give a little more detail so it'll be out there, and we'll be talking about it for a long, long time. Alderman Vaughn is absolutely right. This is one of those things that the build grant has been worked on for a good 10 years or more. It was started out as the Tiger Grant, and a long time ago, it got put in a couple of times for a couple of years. We didn't get it. We didn't put it in for a couple of years. It became the build grant. We put it in, and after three consecutive tries, we did get it. But I also want to set expectations, because this is a huge undertaking, and it is going to be over a period of about 6 years. It goes from 2020 to 2026 as a final completion date. Now, it might be a little bit less, but it might be a little bit more, but the order of magnitude is enormous. It is a grant that is $12.66 million from the Transportation Department of the federal government. We worked with many entities to make it happen. MDOT came to the table. Mississippi State came to the table. All of our partners, the legislators, Sheck Taylor, Rod Robertson, they all wrote letters. They all worked on our behalf, talked to the people, the powers that be, our senators, our legislators, all put names or faces with this project, which makes a difference when you're trying to do something of this magnitude. You know, people respond to people, and so we have had a whole lot of help over a whole lot of years to make this happen. So I don't want anybody to think something's going to happen immediately, because it's not. It's going to require engineering and professional design and that sort of thing. So what we're going to be looking at is transmission lines that line 182 from Old West Point Road all the way up to Long Street. All of that is supposed to be able to go underground. We're going to have pedestrian and biking pathways. We're going to have trees. We're going to have bioswales. We're going to have storm drainage maintenance. We're going to have some brownfield remediation. So all of those things are going to happen, but it's going to take a very long time. So while I want us to all be excited, I don't want us to get discouraged, because it's not going to see a shovel of dirt turning tomorrow. So please understand that, but we also, all of that information is on the website. We have the application, we have the appendix, all of that is available to be viewed, but I just want to make sure that those expectations are set. And we will talk about it as often as anyone wants to talk about it, but we won't be seeing a whole lot of things going on until somewhere down the line. So I want to make sure everybody understands that. So anyway, all right, thank you very much. The
Mayor,
next, I'm sorry.
May I be recognized?
Yeah, Vice Mayor.
Mr. City Attorney, will you very briefly brief the public as to why the matter of the public hearing is on the agenda for December 17, 2011, calling for a public hearing of the property at the corner of 182 and Dr. Dale Connor Drive, given the fact that it was adjudicated as a property to be demolished under Section 2119-11 of the Code of 72 as amended during the last term. Just briefly, so the public will be well informed why that is back on the agenda for it to be adjudicated again. Just briefly inform the public.
Yes, sir. That was adjudicated by the Board of Aldermen in 2016. And under the statute 2119-11, the board has a year to take action on the adjudication. And the board sent out bids, and the bids came back way too high, so no action was taken. So that 1 year time period has run. So this is bringing it back before the board to start a fresh new 1 year clock.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney.
Yes, yes, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. All right, under citizens' comments, this is an opportunity for anyone to come speak to the board. You have 3 minutes. This is not normally a back and forth. This is generally a one-way flow of information, so those who wish to come speak to us, now would be the opportunity. Mr. Turner.
Good evening, Mayor. Board, my name is Adam Turner, Ward 7. To the Board of Aldermen, to the Mayor, to the Police Chief, to the Fire Chief, to the NACP Active House County President Yolanda Haddock. Kevin Day, that's a senior citizen program that I go to, and we want to thank Captain Stewart for coming, helping us out, giving us good information about this time of year and how to be careful. We also want to thank the fire chief also for coming to Kevin Day, which the senior citizen group that help us to try to be safe over the holiday season. And we also, we want to try to find better ways to keep people here at home and not drive them away. Some things be kind of rough on the citizens, so that we just want to take that under advisement. Also, to the chief, I would like to get your phone number because I'm gonna need you close to me in the days ahead. My brother came to me in a dream with a T, and so undoubtedly we're getting close to trying to find out what went wrong in 2016. So I already have the mayor's number and Mr. Taylor's number. I just need your number just in case, just be on the safe side, because we don't know exactly, but I wouldn't want no one to try to walk up on me and do something to me like they did my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Anyone else wishing to come under citizens' comments? Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Good evening, Mayor and Board of Aldermen. I am Jean Mohammadi Iraq. I'm a property owner at Mayhew Junction Brewing Company at 106 Eckford Drive. It's in Alderman Vaughn's ward. I'm here to bring to your attention a significant parking issue that is ongoing. The parking violates code, and it blocks my entrances and my access to my building, and it blocks me from being able to conduct my business. Further, I think it's a safety issue as well, because it's hard for me to get in and out. It's hard for fire to get in and out, and when the entire right-of-way is filled with cars, pedestrians have to walk in the roadway. So my concerns are specifically with vehicles parked on the west side of Eckford Drive in front of the right-of-way and the access of 106 Eckford Drive in violation of City Code 106421. They angle park. In violation of 106421, they block access to my property. 106399, they angle park, and 106367, they're parking opposite traffic direction. So I brought some pictures of my concerns. If you're interested or unfamiliar with the area, I'm happy to share these and additional
You can give them to the chief, and he can provide them.
I have tried to address the concerns myself. I've been met with resistance when I've asked drivers, and I only ask people to move when I absolutely need them to move, and I've been yelled at. I try to put signs to mark my entrances more clearly, and I've been yelled at that I can't put cones out. The signs have been taken down. Barriers I put up have been cut. We did file a police report about that about a year ago, I think. We have tried to tow people as well, but the problem with this is that we can't tow people that are parked on the city right-of-way. This weekend, on Sunday, I had a private event at 12:30. When I came, the entire frontage was full of cars, even into the neighboring property. I called the police on that. They were very helpful. They helped move the cars so I could access the parking lot and customers could come in. But it did take 35 to 40 minutes before that could happen, which delayed me preparing to open. And then when the police left, people parked there again and blocked the entrances again. So I'm not one, I don't want to just complain. I've tried to brainstorm a few solutions. I don't know if perhaps the police can ticket more often, or, I'm not sure, but I think that would place a burden on the police. So I'm really not sure if that's possible. I'm not sure, perhaps the public doesn't even realize that they shouldn't be parking there, because I didn't realize that you can't angle park until I read the entire traffic ordinance on Sunday night after the incident. And so perhaps we can line,
Yes, ma'am. That's 3 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. But
Thanks.
we have the pictures,
Yeah, I'm trying to separate them.
and we'll, Okay, thank you.
I
Thank
can
you.
ask one question. The signage, did y'all put the signage up, or is that the city put the signage up?
So I would like the city to put signs up, but I put signs up on my property and on the edge of the properties, and then I was told that I can't do anything because it's city right away and the cars can park there.
Thank you.
Which property is yours over
The
there?
property is the big blue building that everyone thinks is abandoned because the cars park in front of it. It used to be Watson's.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's directly across from the Breakfast Club and
Right,
directly next
right.
to the studio and the bank.
so like overflow from the restaurant or something at night, or?
It
is just all-
typically is overflow
Lunchtime,
from the
right.
restaurant at lunchtime. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not always that.
Alderman Vaughn, did I hear you?
Yeah, it's ball game times and all. I know exactly what she's talking about.
Yeah,
Because I goes in the gym there.
yeah.
All right, all right. Well, we will take a look at those. The chief has them, and we'll
Okay.
see if we can be of any assistance.
Okay, thank you.
All right, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Don't. You came in here wearing an Ole Miss shirt, girl. Congratulations. I see class of 2020.
Not yet.
No, yeah. Oh, okay, well, I'm going with, okay. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Maya Halbert, and this is Kayla Williams, and we are the mayor of the Mayor Youth Council. And I know you all probably wondering why both of you all are the mayor, but we had many runoffs, and each time there was a tie. So me and Kayla decided that we will both serve as the mayor for this year. And we would like to thank you all for all of your hard work and your support.
So some of the events that we have attended this year, we have worked with the United Way. We feed at Walmart, and we were the top providers for, like, we were the top, you know, we brought in the most food, however you say that. And we also worked with the 5K run that they had over by the Sanderson Center. And we on December the 7th, we're planning a youth forum for all teens and, you know, like young adults in this area to, you know, talk about problems in our area and how we can fix them.
Okay, and where is that forum going to be?
It's going to be at the Doghouse on Mississippi State campus.
Okay.
At, what time? 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Well, thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. All right. All right, anyone else wishing to make citizens' comments?
Good afternoon. I am Kayla Gilmore of KMG Creations, the organizer of the Starkville Veterans Day Parade. I want to take this time out to tell the city thank you so much for helping me so much in this parade, from the building department to the electric department to the police department to your support and the city of Starkville. Thank you so much for the support. We look forward to the 3rd annual Veterans Day Parade. Mark your calendars for Saturday, November the 14th, 2020. Thank you so much, and thank you for serving and all that.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am. Thank you. It was
All
a
right.
very good event. All right, anyone else? Anyone else? All right, seeing none, I'll close it for citizens' comments. We have no public appearances tonight. We do have a public hearing, and this is a public hearing to amend the transient vendor ordinance to adhere to the fire code requirements for mobile food preparation vehicles. Any discussion from the board before I open it as a public hearing? Okay, this item is, as it relates to our new food trucks that seem to be popping up all over. So we have found that in that, we do not have anything in our transient vendor ordinance that addresses the fire safety code associated with food trucks. And so in that, the fire department has stepped up to help us adopt the code that's the 2018 Fire Prevention Code and add that to our ordinance so that we can make sure that our food trucks operate in the safest manner. So that's essentially what this is about. So we're having our first public hearing on this matter, and I'm going to open it up as a public hearing. If anyone wishes to come speak to us about this, now would be the time. Anyone wishing to speak about food trucks and fire safety? All right, seeing none, I will close it as a public hearing. Any further discussion from the board before we move on to the next item? Okay, seeing none, we will move to the planning department. The first item is, Mr. Haviland, you're handling this one? All right, thank you.
First item is VA 1911 Huntington Park. This is the variance request by Jackson Construction for a variance relief from the setback requirements for Lot 308 to 314 of Tallamore Lane, Lot 301 to 307 of Lambert Lane, in Phase 9 of the Huntington Park subdivision. As you can see in the image to the left, this is the preliminary plat. The two areas that are outlined in red are the lots that are requesting the variance relief. All of these lots front this common area in the middle. And the common area in the middle will be used as a park, community amenity, stormwater management facility. And so there's actually no road or street that's on the front of the lot. All the lots are actually loaded by a one-way alley street in the rear of the property. And so the request is to reduce the front setback requirement from 25 feet to 10 feet. On November 13, 2019, the Board of Adjustments Appeal voted 6-0 to recommend approval of this request. And on this image, you can see to the right is the common open space, and then the 10-foot setback, and then this is the alley one-way street side and a rear-loaded garage. So that the houses will actually just be coming closer to the common space, but they're still separated by a pretty good distance.
Okay,
And if there's any questions.
okay, thank you. Any questions of the board? I'm gonna ask the applicant to come up. Is the applicant here?
Yes.
Oh, would you come up? We'd like to have a face that goes with an application, so see if there's anything that you would like to add to that request? Anything?
Daniel explained it very well, unless anybody has any questions.
Okay, all right. Any questions from the board? Any questions? And this is gonna impact how many lots? Did I see 4 lots, 6 lots?
14.
14, I didn't count very well, did I? 14
Seven on
lots.
each
Okay,
side.
so that's all incorporated in this request. Okay, Alderman Walker.
This is maybe a question more for the city planner and/or city engineer. If this, you mentioned that the common space was also going to be used for as an amenity, but you mentioned also stormwater as well.
Yes.
And the only thing I want to make sure from city staff's perspective is that if by reducing that setback, if we're in any way increasing the likelihood of having water-related issues from that common space into the private lots.
I wouldn't believe so, but the city engineers want to review the
Mr.
actual
Kemp, would
drawing.
you come forward, please, sir?
I'm assuming all these are slab on grade, like the other things
Yep.
in Huntington.
Those elevations set for the reason you're referring
Okay.
to.
We have not reviewed this with that perspective from a stormwater management standpoint. Mr. Jackson's pond, as I recall, is designed, I think it's designed for a 100-year event, isn't it? I can't exactly remember, but I do know that it will have a 100-year overflow on those incredibly large storm events. We will just need to make sure during building permit process stage that the finished floor elevations that are being proposed are at least a foot or two higher than that spillway elevation, which I feel most certain that they are, but we can definitely confirm that. I know Mr. Jackson will want to look at that too.
Yeah, the plat actually has recommended elevations for each lot that is facing the common area. And I want to think that the lowest lot is probably right at 3 feet higher than the spillage at the, you might call the west levee. So it will spill over the levee to the next street before it would enter any house.
Okay, and so I'm fine with this as it stands, and it sounds like that when we get to the design review committee for each lot, or as we move forward, there would be another opportunity to make sure that we're not creating a serious issue.
During the building permit.
During the building permit phase.
And like Mr. Jackson said, we can include that on the plat as well, so it can be referenced back relatively easy going forward.
It's on there now.
Yeah.
The
That it'll be-
recommended elevations are.
What it-
On the infrastructure plans.
That it will be 3 feet above the spillway? Is that what's referenced on the plat?
I'm estimating, I know
Okay.
that was taken into account when we designed the stormwater retention area and set the lot elevations. I don't think moving a lot any closer is gonna really have an
Okay, anyone else? Any other questions? Okay, nothing else? All right, then entertain a motion for.
Mayor, move approval.
Okay, I have a motion for approval from Alderman Little. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Vaughn. Further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, and the second item, Mr. Havlin, you carrying that one as well?
Yes, FP 1910 is Magnolias at Bentbrook. This is a request by Jay Fowler on behalf of Magnolias at Bentbrook LLC for final plat approval for subdividing 5.1 acres into 28 lots. The proposed subdivision is named Magnolias at Bentbrook, located in an R3A zoning district on the southeast corner of the intersection of Bentbrook Ridge Street and Yellow Jacket Drive. The subdivision has a total of 28 lots with a gross density of 5.49 units per acre. At the time of final plat review by the Development Review Committee, there were several items that were noted as needing to be addressed prior to the finalizing of the final plat, and those items are listed as attachment 6 in the staff report. On November 12th, 2019, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted 6-0 to recommend approval with 16 conditions. Condition, I believe 15 and 16 are the ones that address the items from the DRC list. On November 14th, a letter from Jay Fowler requesting modification of 2 conditions. Condition 15D, requesting to allow the bonding of all sidewalks, and condition 15B, requesting to allow conditions to be met at the time of certificate of occupancy for lot, I think, 7 and 8. If there are any questions.
Any questions from board members? Yes, sir.
Mayor, I move approval with the following modifications to the.
Can I get the applicants up here?
Absolutely.
Okay. Would y'all come up so that we put a face with a name, et cetera, and I've got a motion pending, so go ahead and make your motion, and then we'll follow back up.
Make a motion for approval with the following modifications to condition 15B. That condition will now read it up here. Vertical drop on the south ends of lots 7 and 8 need to be sloped and stabilized, or a wall installed prior to a certificate of occupancy for lots 7 and 8. And then 15D, all sidewalks along Yellow Jacket Drive need to be completed by January 31st, 2020.
I second.
All right, I have a motion from Alderman Walker, a second from Alderman Little. And here, I'll pass this along. Gentlemen, any issues with those conditions applied?
No.
And I saw that y'all have already been forming up the sidewalks along Yellow Jackets.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for that. All right. Further discussion? All right. Thank you so much for being here. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. All right. Next item is the claims docket.
Move approval.
I have Alderman Carver, was that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Alderman Carver for a motion, second from Alderman Little. Further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
All right, by a vote of 5-2, motion carries. Thank
Move to go
you.
into closed session.
And I have a motion to go into closed determination session from Alderman Little. I have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Vaughn. Second from Alderman Vaughn. Further discussion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we will be going into closed session. right, ladies and gentlemen, the board has voted to go into executive session to discuss a pending litigation relating to an appeal and a notice of claim, and to discuss under personnel the specific job performance of 2 police department employees. So we will be going into executive session. action regarding the personnel matter and took no action as it relates to the pending litigation. So, in executive session. Thank you very much.
Can I just rephrase, Mayor?
You
Just
can, please do.
The board accepted the police chief's recommendation of discipline against 2 police officers.
There you go. So much better that way. Love that legalese. Thank you. And then we have one other item before we break up. We have and I'll be calling a special call on this, but we have a preponderance of the board who is available to discuss the Unified Development Code at a work session on Monday, the 25th at 2 p.m. So if everyone would mark their calendars, and I will make that special call. Do I have a motion for us to adjourn until December the 3rd?
So moved, Mayor.
I have a motion from Alderman Little. Do I have a second?
Sorry,
Second from Alderman Beatty. Thank you so much.
I need to get in the game sometime.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We are in adjournment.